Yo, what is up YouTube? James Baek here and welcome back to another week of the WBE. We have week 3 here versus HoodlumCallum. We have the Jubilife Piplups coached by myself versus the Dundee-Diles. I hope that's how you pronounce it, from coached by HoodlumCallum. So we have, if you don't know our squad, it is actually Corviknight, Conkeldurr, Rotomwash, Amoonguss, Umbreon, Rhyperior, Reboot, Delmise, Frostlass, Clefairy, and Torracat, while HoodlumCallum has the option for Cinderace, Grimmsnarl, Poltergeist, Porygon Z, Cobalion, Flygon, Tentacruel, Serena, Vikavolt, Lycanrod, Midnight Form, and Cramorant. So this is a very scary team. His team is very, very threatening. I see Poltergeist as a potential big threat here. Grimmsnarl is actually really good against my team, I think, overall. Cinderace can be scary, but I think I had the checks for it. I'm actually more worried about the following: Porygon Z, Poltergeist, Grimmsnarl. I'm a little bit scared of Tentacruel, potentially Flygon. And those are the main threats that I'm pretty much going to be assessing here. And yeah, I will be going out to Team Builder, and then we'll be having the battle in a little bit. So I'm here to give a brief recap of what I decided to bring this week. We have Rotomwash. Also, no anime nicknames for this week. I actually was very pressed for time this week to get content out, basically, so I actually didn't have time to really do much, especially with the anime nickname theme. Unfortunately, I will be bringing it back for week 4, but I was a little bit pressed this time with like a bunch of school things, so yeah, sorry about that. As we have Rotomwash here with the Choice Scarf that I decided to bring. I think Choice Scarf was really good because like having a way to outspeed Cinderace I thought was like really good. Also, like, Rotomwash does hit a lot of things on his team really well. Cramorant, Lycanroc, Tentacruel, Flygon with Hydro Pump doesn't like it. Cobalion doesn't like taking a hit. Porygon Z doesn't like taking a fast hit. Poltergeist, if it's not Shell Smash, doesn't like taking a hit. Grimmsnarl and Cinderace, I can pretty much Volt Switch around his team. 5 Hydro Pumps, and I think Rotomwash is really offensively a threat to him. So I wanted to go to Choice Scarf Rotom in this route, especially since outspeeding and threatening the Cinderace before I can do some big damage, especially like if it's a bulk up Cinderace and get some bulk ups off and I send him Rotom. I definitely don't want him to get like a really high powerful high jump kick off. So I decided to go to Choice Scarf Rotom set this time for this week. Once again, we have Hydro Pump, Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, and Trick. Wasn't sure about Trick. I knew I wanted Hydro Pump, Thunderbolt, and Volt Switch for sure. They were really good damage outputters against this team. And then I decided to go Trick just because like maybe I could trick the Poltergeist at a really bad position. And yeah, that was pretty much the only reason. I didn't really need any other move, I felt like, overall. I was considering Defog, Scarf, maybe Willis potentially, but I just ended up going Trick because it was a safe option just in case. And if he did get like, I don't know, some way to get rid of my item, felt like maybe I could steal one of his items. So yeah, Trick was a potential option. The spread: 148 EVs in HP for defense, 196 special attack for special defense, and a 156 speed, or yeah, 156 speed with a modest nature. The EV spread allows it to outspeed Cinderace with the modest nature. And the Choice Scarf, the only other Pokemon I was really scared of, maybe not outspeeding, was like Choice Scarf users like Porygon Z and the what's it called? It is the Choice Scarf Flygon. But really, I felt like you don't really bring Choice Scarf against my team because my team's very, very slow overall, I feel like. So like having this Choice Scarf option to cover for like Cinderace, and I did have switch-ins to other Pokemon if he did have that Choice Scarf option, was a factor. So yeah, felt like Choice Scarf Rotom was really good. I went with quite a bit of bulk, as you can see, because of the fact that I am worried about getting worn down by Sucker Punches, specifically from the Grimmsnarl and the Cinderace, because Sucker Punch could be a bit of an option. I wanted bulk to also handle Scarf Flygon if that's the case, because I'd be able to take an attack, fire off a Hydro Pump, and then not worry about like taking rocks, because he does have a lot of hazards on this team. So I want to make sure that Rotom would be able to like come in freely, even if I wasn't able to get a defog off and like take an attack and dish out damage. So that's the Rotom we brought. Umbreon is our next Pokemon here, and I decided to go with like the leftover set once again. Very, very good set overall. The only reason I brought Umbreon was because Poltergeist was way too threatening. It literally swept my team if it got a Shell Smash off, and I didn't think he would bring it because like I brought Umbreon basically every week, but I felt like in case if he does bring it, I get screwed over Shell Smash if he's able to get that opportunity. So I had to think of, I think I had to bring Umbreon here. So yeah, I think I was like forced to, because I didn't have good Poltergeist answers. So we have the leftovers Umbreon set here with Synchronize as the ability this time because of the fact that if it's Tentacruel that he wants to bring, I could switch it on a Scald and he gets burned, which is nice. I went with Foul Play, Heal Bell, Wish, and Baton Pass. I went Foul Play for, you know, Poltegeist, as well as like it hits a decent amount of his team for pretty good damage, especially like Flygon. Heal Bell. I ran Heal Bell because of the fact that I am a little bit worried about like Thunder Wave, Grimmsnarl, and potentially like T-Spikes from Tentacruel. I'm a little bit worried about T-Spikes just because it's able to like chip away at my team. And specifically since I do have like very certain calcs on like Rhyperior as well as Conkeldurr and Reboot that I did bring, where if it gets worn down by rocks consistently, if I'm not able to get defogs off, I felt like I might have needed Heal Bell here. So I thought for Heal Bell. Wish is pretty standard. Allows Umbreon and basically my other Pokemon to basically just like get some recovery. And Baton Pass because it gives me momentum, because I feel like, you know, Umbreon pretty slow, able to Baton Pass out and give me momentum. I think is like really good against this team in general. And I decided to go with the max HP Umbreon, a max physical defense, and 4 special defense. This Umbreon actually always lives 4 Giga Drains from Poltegeist, Modest Max. And if it is boosted stored power, it is going to be a 3-hit KO, which I thought was really nice. So I didn't actually need much special attack. I just went with physical defense because most of his Pokemon are pretty physically offensive. I wasn't going to use the Umbreon to deal with Porygon Z. I had another answer in mind for Porygon Z. So I felt like it was fine to go physical defense because it allows me to take on like Pokemon like Flygon, which I was a little bit scared about, and Lycanroc a bit better, as well as maybe take one like Spirit Break from the Grimmsnarl potentially. Because I wasn't sure what Grimmsnarl he'll bring. I think offensive is really good against me with like coverage. He could go screens, could go for Thunder Wave, so I'm not exactly too sure which one he'll bring. But I think he has like a lot of options, and Grimmsnarl is definitely going to be a threat. So having that physical defense, I think is just nice overall. Next, we have Conkeldurr, and Conkeldurr, really good Pokemon against him. I feel like he doesn't have much of a switch against it, especially me clicking Drain Punch. His best switch-ins are Poltegeist, which is immune but doesn't like taking a knockoff. It will actually drop to a knockoff. A Vikavolt if he brings it. I'm not exactly too sure if he'll bring Vikavolt. I could see it, but I'm not exactly too sure. And Tentacruel, which I actually think he is going to bring Tentacruel. I think he'll bring a physically defensive Tentacruel, in my opinion, as a potential spinner, as a T-Spiker, as well as like maybe specifically to deal with the Conkeldurr and the Rhyperior. So I ran a Life Orb Iron Fist. The reason I ran Life Orb Iron Fist is pretty good because he doesn't have a really good fighting switching, as I said before. The only ones that can really do it is the Tentacruel and Poltegeist. Everything gets hit by Drain Punch pretty hard. And I went Life Orb Iron Fist because if he runs a fast Porygon Z and you're not really going to run a bulky Porygon Z, Life Orb Iron Fist Mach Punch is a guaranteed KO on a frail Porygon Z. And even on a decently bulky Porygon Z, it's a pretty good roll in my favor to knock it out. So was going to go for the Life Orb Iron Fist. I thought about running Choice Band. It was a consideration, but overall I felt like it was just better to go for the Life Orb Iron Fist to switch up moves. And I wanted Defog, so I actually put Defog on the Conkeldurr. Drain Punch knockoff, Defog, and Mach Punch. So I had Drain Punch, reliable recovery because Conkeldurr is really good in this matchup. Knockoff for Poltegeist, as well as can get rid of items, which is really nice. Defog because I am a little bit worried about like hazards. Again, he has quite a few of them in the Tentacruel. He can have rocks on Cobalion. I don't remember if he has a spike user. I don't think he does. I know he has a T-Spike user. But overall, I feel like Defog is fine here on Conkeldurr because I might be able to get a Defog off in certain situations. And of course, Mach Punch again for the Porygon and just like a nice cleanup move. The EV spread, 228 HP, 212 attack, 60 defense, 4 special defense, and 4 speed with an adamant nature. Of course, again, his team is really physically offensive. Like there aren't really many special attackers other than maybe like Vikavolt, Cramorant, which I have a switch in for. Tentacruel, where it can scald me down, I guess. And but I'm not sure if he wants to risk it in case he thinks I'm guts. And the Poltegeist, which I could threaten with knockoff, or I'd switch out hard into Umbreon anyway. So like I felt like overall I didn't need a specially defensive Conkeldurr, so I actually went with the EV spread. Allows it to knock out a 4 HP Porygon Z 100% of the time with Mach Punch, Life Orb Iron Fist. Went with maximum HP that I can get, and I actually invested, or not maximum HP, I put 209 because like reducing a Life Orb damage by 1 HP. I have 60 defense because it allows me to take on mons like Serena, Grimmsnarl, Cinder Ace a bit better depending on the Grimmsnarl, and takes hits from Cobalion Flygon a bit better unless it's a special or mixed Flygon. So really like the Conkeldurr in the matchup. I think it can do a lot of work. I think this is going to be a really good sweeping tool against this team because he doesn't really like switching again into the Conkeldurr. I was debating about running Earthquake for the Tentacruel, but I felt like it wasn't worth it in general because the coverage really only hits the Tentacruel, and I'd rather click Drain Punch or Knock Off most of the time. So I felt like it wasn't worth it. So I had to defog just in case. Rhyperior. Now this Rhyperior is specifically designed to take on the Porygon Z, and you might be wondering, why am I using it to take on Porygon Z? Because I felt like Nasty Plot Porygon Z is such a big threat to my team. Nasty Plot Porygon Z actually does destroy most of my team, especially if it's like Nasty Plot Agility, which could be a thing. I definitely do not want that. So because I think he might run like Tri Attack, Ice Beam, Nasty Plot, and Agility. He could run Substitute on that too. He could also run he could run a bunch of things potentially. He could have Thunderbolt for my Corviknight, but I think Tri Attack or Ice Beam would do the job, but it really just depends. So I decided to go Assault Vest Rhyperior because it was my best actually answer to handle I felt like the Porygon, because of the fact that Rhyperior is able to knock out Porygon Z with the superpower that I am running, which was the last bit of a decision. But also, like, it lets me, like, if it is Tentacruel, I can get a big Earthquake off. I do take a Scald decently well, not the best, but takes it well enough. And with the Assault Vest, I'm just going to be able to take on the Porygon. This is the main Pokemon. Also allows me to live like a hit from Vikavolt if he brings it, unless it's like maybe Choice Specs Energy Ball, but I'm pretty sure that I do live with the spread. I didn't need much attack on this Rhyperior. It's mainly to take on the Porygon and just dish out damage overall. We have Assault Vest Solid Rock with Earthquake, Rock Slide, Ice Punch, and Superpower. No surprise to see Earthquake, Rock Slide, good stabs, hits really hard against this team in general. Ice Punch to catch on the Flygon if he does switch in, because I think Flygon could definitely be the #1 switch, I feel like, on this team into the Rhyperior. And then Superpower to deal with the Porygon, as I mentioned before. EV spread is actually very, very simple. I only wanted to KO a standard Porygon Z, so I ended up not needing much attack at all, actually. So I just ended up going Adamant and just investing max special defense and max HP to give Rhyperior the maximum bulk from Assault Vest. I can Wish Pass into the Rhyperior, so felt like overall, like, this was a fine set. I debated about speed creeping potentially on his team, maybe the Vikavolt, but I felt like overall I felt the Rhyperior was good enough to handle most of his team. So yeah, I think Assault Vest Rhyperior can put in work, especially against the Porygon. I do have to conserve for the Porygon though, because it could be a threat. It is my switch in the Porygon because of how I take the Ice Beams from the Porygon. The Conkeldurr is the backup plan against it, of course, again, in case Porygon gets too threatening, because that Pokemon's just a problem. We have Corviknight as the next Pokemon though, and I definitely wanted a physically defensive wall, specifically because I was worried about a few Pokemon. The Grimmsnarl was a little bit annoying. The Cobalion I felt like could be threatening, especially if it's like a Swords Dance set. Dragonlance Flygon could be a little bit scary, and I wanted a wall for Serena, so I ended up choosing the bulky Corviknight because this allows me to live +2 close combat most of the time, I think, with max HP and max defense. And I really didn't need this thing for like a special wall or anything. Again, I was really mainly using it to handle the physical threats. So I was like, you know what, I'm giving body press, I'm giving iron defense, I might as well just go max defense, because like there's no other EV spread I really would need. I don't have another attack, so attack EVs are useless. There's no good special attacks I really want to take, because of the fact that, of course, I am running the I have the Assault Vest Rhyperior and the decently specially defensive Umbreon to switch into those. So I felt like overall just might as well just invest in defense, because there wasn't a special attack I wanted to use. I ran Walking Berry over Leftovers. I chose Walking Berry in case like maybe I need to get a hit off on Porygon, which is definitely a consideration. And allows me to take one hit from Vikavolt. Like if I find myself in a position where Corviknight can Iron Defense very safely, and you know, there's an electric Pokemon and it's weakened like the Vikavolt or the Porygon, maybe I could just like take the trade where I get like a bunch of damage off or a knockout for like you know, taking a walking berry if like Corviknight already served its purpose. So I felt like overall the Corviknight here, it's pretty good. I think it's pretty good against the team in general. And yeah, I'm excited to see like how well the Corviknight can do, because I think it is pretty good. I was debating about U-turn over Defog, as my moveset is Body Press, Iron Defense, Roost, and Defog. I had U-turn on the Defog, but I felt like it didn't make sense. I really want to U-turn because I think Reboot destroys the team too, and Rotom, so I thought like maybe I could pivot. But I felt like again, I was way too worried about the Tentacruel hazards, and if I'm switching to Tentacruel, I think it is the Corviknight, and I'm getting a Defog off because I'm not too worried about Scald Burns because of the fact I do have Heal Bell on Umbreon. So yeah, I wanted a way to make sure T-Specs wasn't going to be too annoying, and I felt like Corviknight was going to be my main switch into that, as well as like a switch into the Flygon, which is really nice. So yeah, that's the Corviknight. And then the last Pokemon we have is the Reboot. And I think I'm bringing double Choice Scarf users this week, but I feel like Choice Scarf Reboot is pretty solid overall against the team. So I decided to bring Reboot, and there were two options I was going for, Choice Band or Choice Scarf. So I wasn't too sure, but I was just a bit too worried about the Kabalion, especially the Swords Dance set, where I was like, okay, you know what? I'll bring Reboot, because let's look at the team once again. It does really well because nothing really switches into Flare Blitz either. Poltegeist doesn't take it well. Porygon doesn't like High Jump Kick or Flare Blitz. Cobalion doesn't like it. Flygon can, but I can U-turn out, and I have like the Corviknight as a switch in, as long as it's not Life or Fire Blast, but he only gets 4 Fire Blasts against Corviknight. Tentacruel doesn't take it super well unless it's physically defensive, which I'm expecting, but I U-turn out into like Rotom, for instance. Serena doesn't take it well. Vikavolt doesn't take it well. Lycanroc doesn't like High Jump Kick. I don't expect Cramorant really because I do have Rotom. So yeah, I felt like overall I just decided to go to Choice Scarf 1 because I was a little bit too worried about the Cobalion. And you know, if I'm able to weaken this team with like Volt Switch and U-turn, like Volturn I think is really good against this team in general. So like if I can get the Volturn momentum, I could just weaken this team, and then like one of my Choice Scarf users, as long as like I have one of these around, I should be able to win by like just chipping away at his team, because I have like so many defensive pivots into like the Volt Switch and U-turn, or I could get it for like momentum and get in one another and just keep pivoting. So yeah, I felt like the Choice Scarf Reboot, finally we're bringing it because it's the first time we're bringing it. Of course, we're running Libera on it. It is legal. Cinderace isn't allowed to have Libera. It's only allowed to have Blaze in the draft league, but Libera Reboot is legal. We got Flare Blitz, High Jump Kick, Blaze Kick, and U-turn with 164 HP, 252 attack, and 92 speed with an adamant nature. So the reason I decided to go with this Reboot move pool, Flare Blitz and High Jump Kick, pretty standard. Flare Blitz is the only good fire move that Reboot really gets on the physical side. It doesn't get Pyro Ball like Cinderace. So Flare Blitz is pretty much your go-to option. High Jump Kick as well. To hit again the Pokemon that can switch in a Reboot, which is the Lycanroc specifically, as well as the it can hit the Porygon as well, which is kind of nice. We have Blaze Kick. Blaze Kick was kind of the last decision, so I debated about two things. I actually debated about going naive on, or not naive, naughty nature Reboot, having maybe a bit of investment into special attack and running like Overheat. Specifically because I feel like I don't want to click Flare Blitz all the time, specifically because like Flare Blitz recoil will add up. If he has some kind of hazards and I'm not able to defog them, it can be a bit annoying. So I didn't want to click Flare Blitz all the time because again, the recoil would add up. So I was like, you know what? I'll go with Blaze Kick, because there are certain situations where I'm expecting a sack or something. It's still going to hit decently hard. And overall, I felt like it wasn't the worst pick out there. So decided to go with Blaze Kick because I wasn't really liking the other options. It was either Overheat, and I do think Overheat's still very respectable, but I wasn't exactly too sure in the end. So yeah, because I was looking at the options, and yeah, I mean, Flamethrower, not that great. I wouldn't go for Heat Wave. Overheat was the only other option, and I do think I also considered Sucker Punch or Super Fang too. And Super Fang would have been interesting, but it really just depends on like what the switches are, and I feel like Reboot's more of a KO'er than like just a regular chipper. So like I didn't think Super Fang made too much sense, especially since like the walls aren't even that like great. And the U-turn, of course, for pivoting, and the EV spread just allows it again. It's like 126 to outspeed Cinderace with a Choice Scarf. I don't outspeed like Flygon or anything, so I felt like there's no point of it. I don't think it's worth outspeeding Porygon Z if it's Choice Scarf, because I'm not that worried if it's Porygon Z is Choice Scarf. So yeah, that's gonna be the 6 that I am gonna be bringing this week to WBE. We'll be cutting to the battle. Hopefully we'll be able to pick up a win. Again, no anime nicknames unfortunately, but we will be having them again next week. But yeah, let's move on to week 3 of the WBE. Let's get it. Yo, what's up YouTube? James Baek here, and welcome to the WBE week 3. We have me versus HoodlumCallum. I do not remember how to pronounce this team. I just want to get straight into the battle. We have a Cinderace, Porygon Z, Grimmsnarl, okay, Cobalion, the Serena, and because I keep forgetting what that Pokemon is called sometimes in Vikavolt. Okay, so some threats, kind of basically somewhat expected. I knew he wasn't gonna bring these, what's it called, dang it, I knew he wasn't gonna bring the Poltergeist, but I had to prepare for it just in case. The Grimmsnarl is probably the most concerning Pokemon I think I had to deal with in this matchup. Serena could be a bit scary, but I think overall the scariest Pokemon to deal with on the team is going to be that Grimmsnarl, because it does get the elemental punches. It's going to be annoying. Porygon I can deal with effectively. Overall, I really like Choice Scarf Rotom as a lead. I think it does a ton of work against this team overall. Yeah, I think Rotom is a very safe lead. I could also have led with my Reboot, but it gets underweight by the Grimmsnarl if he leads it. I don't know what kind of Grimmsnarl is running though. He could run so many options: screens, bulk up, support, offensive, and I think offensive is really good against me personally. But yeah, I think I like those 4. We'll see how this goes. I think bulk up Corviknight can do a lot of work though in this matchup, so we'll see how this goes. I definitely think that this is going to be a matchup where it's going to be decided, I think, between sweepers, because I think I have really good sweeping potential here with my Rotom Wash, as well as my, like, he doesn't have a switch in actually to Reboot, so Reboot's going to be really good. He let Cinderace too, which is excellent actually for me, because I'm actually Choice Scarf Rotom, so I can actually just fire off a Hydro Pump. He has no exact safe switch in. Serena's the safest switch in, but Serena doesn't appreciate Corviknight coming in. I guess he could U-turn though, which is a little bit concerning. But I think I'd rather just fire off the Hydro Pump and risk it turn 1, because he might think I'm not Scarf Rotom and might just want to U-turn out. And if he does, it's hardly punished, because I get rid of the Reboot. If I reveal that I have a Choice Scarf, he might think I'm not Choice Scarf on the Reboot. I'm actually running double Choice Scarf this week. We're going to see that switch out from the Cinderace. It is going to be probably the Serena. Yep. Okay, so I could have probably Volt Switch, but that's fine. I get a little bit of chip, which is not bad. He's probably going to U-turn out, I think, into... or knockoff. I think both are very fair plays. Leftovers actually on the Serena. Okay, that's good information to know. I definitely don't want to risk Rotom here. I think that Corv is just a very safe play overall, and I just don't see the reason not to. Who would he respond with is the question. I guess Cinderace again. I guess that is a little bit concerned, but... ooh, I guess... this could be concerning, I guess, but it's not Libero Cinderace. I'm not too worried. Pressure as kept a U-turn. Okay, so I kind of want to fire off another Hydro Pump, but you know what, it's better to keep it healthy, because Rotom is a win condition, so I'd rather keep it. All right, so it reveals a U-turn on the Serena, so I'm guessing it's just a pivot in this matchup. So I think Cinderace should probably be coming out. I am physically defensive Corp. Oh no, Cinderace, it's actually the Vikavolt. Okay, interesting here. I don't exactly have the best switch into this Pokemon. Yeah, I don't. Okay, so this Pokemon's actually kind of problematic to switch in. I really don't need Umbreon in this matchup, actually, because Umbreon was really only there for specifically, it was going to be the, it's only going to be there for one Pokemon, and that was going to be the Poltergeist. But since there's no Poltergeist, I just don't see Umbreon having as much of a role here. I'm pretty sure that I could get a KO actually with the Reboot here coming up. So I'm actually going to retreat into my Umbreon. I don't care if he Bug Buzzes. Iron Defense actually. Wow. He gets Iron Defense. Okay. So Iron Defense. I didn't even know that thing got it. I thought he would be running like maybe Specs or Assault Vest, but okay. Do I want to Wish? Or do I want a baton pass? I mean, I feel like he's going for bug buzz. I don't have switch though. I wish I had Toxic on this set. He didn't bring Tentacruel Eater, which is the Pokemon I was kind of concerned about. And there's no reason to run Heal Bell, I think. Unless I get Thunder Wave, but that doesn't even change anything. So the question is, do I want a Baton Pass here and risk it? I'd rather not. I'm actually just going to go for the foul play. Just to chip and scout for what he's going to do. We're actually going to see a switch from the Bike Ball, so that's actually excellent for me. We're going to see Buckle up here, which is Grimmsnarl. Oh, no, Cobalion. To get the Justified boost. Okay, makes sense. It also avoids a Toxic potentially. So, all right, Cobalion comes out. I'm fine with that because that's actually a lot less scary, I think, to deal with than the... I honestly think that's a lot less scary to deal with. Yeah, I do have a physically defensive Corviknight, which... How much does my Corviknight take from a +1 Cobalion is my question. So let me look at that real quick in the calc. Cobalion. You might get rocks up, which is fine, I think. Okay, I think Corviknight is actually still a safe play. Because I'm looking at this damage and it's not really that much. Like, I think I could just stall him out of close combats if in the worst case, yeah. So we'll go out into my Corviknight. We're going to see what come out. It's going to be the close combat. Yep, I should be able to eat this since I maxed defense. Yeah, I eat it up very, very nicely. So that's already 2 of his close combat power points already gone. So he only has maximum 6 more, or 3 potentially at the lowest case. So that's 2. Gonna put tally marks. I'm gonna go for the Roost. It's just very safe. If he wants to go for Swords Dance, so be it. I don't think that's the worst case for me. And yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about getting a Roost up. He can go back into Vikavolt, but I think that's completely fine. Did I actually see his item? I don't remember if I saw leftovers or not. He could go back into Vikavolt. I think Vikavolt would be a very fair play here. But yeah, I think I just want to Roost up. We're going to see the Cobalion retreat here. It is going to be the Vikavolt coming back in. Okay. So I wish I had rocks on my Rhyperior because rocks would be so good right here. How much do I need my Rhyperior? I needed a lot for the Porygon because that is my main answer to Porygon in this matchup. So we're in a little bit of a pickle because my answers to the Vikavolt probably a bit less than I would like. I didn't think the Iron Defense set also makes it a lot worse because since it's Iron Defense, yeah, that definitely changes. Should I go out into Rhyperior now? My Bug Buzz, I just don't want him to call it. I'm gonna go Umbreon again. I think Umbreon's a very safe play regardless. I wish I had Toxic. I just wish I had Toxic on this set over Heal Bell. But yeah, no regrets. We're gonna see the Thunderbolt come out. Okay, so I could have technically went into my other Pokemon. It does an okay amount, not too much, which I'm pretty thankful about. And now I can just go for... I think I just want to go for damage. How much does it do to... I am taking a bit too much time to calc, I think. So I'd rather actually just go for the foul play here and get some chip onto the Vikavolt. Because I do need chip on this Vikavolt. I'm trying to put in range of Hydro Pump. I'm thinking Rotom can sweep. So yeah, I don't think the Iron Defense is here anyway. If he does, good play. I think he just clicks Bug Buzz personally, which I think would be fair. I don't need my Umbreon, as I said before, because it's only really used as a pivot wall. Yeah, this is nothing. Energy Ball going to come out. Okay. Trying to catch the Rhyperior. Makes sense. So he doesn't have Bug Buzz, it looks like. Ooh, if he doesn't have Bug Buzz, can Umbreon stall it out? Is it leftovers on the Vikavolt too? It is leftovers. Okay, so a lot of leftovers mons this one. Okay. Leftovers Iron Defense, which is kind of annoying actually if he sets up Iron Defenses. So Energy Ball is a little bit of a concern. I'm actually going to go for the Baton Pass here, I think. We're kind of in a stalemate, right? I feel like... Do you Iron Defense here? I'm just going to foul play one more time. I'm going to try to see what he's trying to do here. I think he would fund... I think he doesn't have Bug Buzz. It gets Roost, right? I'm pretty sure this thing gets Roost. Okay, so we're actually going to see the switch again. Okay. Into Cobalion. I keep getting Chip. You might be wondering why I'm confused. Or like, why am I staying with Umbreon as it doesn't do much? I just wanted a free switch because I still think I destroyed the team realistically with my reboot if I can get it set up properly. So I give him that, which is fine. I'm going to go Corv here once again because I just don't see a reason not to go Corv here on the close combat if he wants to go for it. Because if he goes for close combat once again, it's fine because I'm able to take 2 of those. We'll go hard into Corviknight right here. Oh boy, we're gonna play a little bit of a rotation game, but I think I have to try to figure out a good position to get Rotom in. Volt Switch could come out. I know Cobalion does get it. Sets up the rocks. Okay, I do have defog for a reason though. So he wants to pressure me with the rocks, which makes sense. I'm gonna defog the rocks away because I do have defog, and then he's probably gonna switch back into Vikavolt. Ooh, Source Sense comes out. Okay. Well, this Pokemon was mainly for Flygon as well as this Pokemon, so I think I'm actually fine with letting Corviknight go down as long as I can get the good damage onto this Cobalion. So you know what? I'll go for Body Press. It puts it Mach Punch range. I wish I Iron Defense there, but I didn't think he would actually stay in. Yeah, Roost doesn't change anything. I might as well just go for Body Press. I don't need Corv in this game, I feel like, at all. Mercy Close Combat come out. That's not going to KO. And then I should be able to KO Cobalion because it lowered its defense. So I hope it does. If it doesn't, it's not the worst case though. Body Press comes out. Yeah, it doesn't knock it out, but that's fine. The question is, do I think Corviknight is more valuable in the back? I think his Porygon Z is going to have Thunderbolt. I could switch into Serena though, which is actually really clutch because I don't have good Serena switch-ins. Maybe I just give up my Umbreon here. Yeah, I'm gonna give up my Umbreon. I think Umbreon kinda just isn't necessary at all. If I can switch into Serena with the Corviknight, I think it's better because I can roost up on Corviknight. So he can take my Umbreon. I think that is the play here, and then I just get a free switch with my. I think I go Rotom and just click Volt Switch. Yeah, I go Rotom and click Volt Switch because I think it's just safe overall. Or I could go Reboot and just click Flare Blitz and get my KO. Yeah. Well, I haven't revealed that I'm Scarf on the Rotom yet, but I'm gonna reveal it now, actually. The problem is I'm worried about if he goes Heart Serena, but then again, I do get Flare Blitz pressure on like 2 Mons, so I think it's fine. I'm gonna go for the Volt Switch here. I think it's very safe to get rid of the Cobalion or Volt Switch out on Serena, and then maybe I have U-Turn. I wonder if U-Turn actually kills Serena. But we are going to be able to eliminate the Cobalion. So Cobalion does go down. Excellent. So that's a Pokemon I can get rid of right away. So we trade basically our Umbreon. We traded a bit of health on the Corviknight, but again, I don't think it's that bad. I'm going to go out into my Reboot, I think, because Reboot puts on a lot of pressure against the Porygon, Vikavolt, and Serena. So yeah, I think Reboot's the safe play here. I can U-turn out on whatever comes in, especially if it's a slower Mon. Grimmsnarl could come out here. I don't want to get Thunder Waved. I definitely want to switch out. I'm a little bit worried if he has Power Whip though. Power Whip is a very big concerning one to me. We're gonna see. I think that is the Grimmsnarl. Yep. I don't want to get Thunder Waved at all. I'm gonna Heart Swap. I think I go Rhyperior here. Yeah, because I'll take. I think it's a Dark move or Thunder Wave, and I feel like Thunder Wave is definitely here. Let's see. Oh, Reflect. Okay, so he screens. I was close to bring Brick Break Rhyperior this week. Okay, so I wonder if he has Power Whip. I kind of doubt it. He doesn't have a good switch into Earthquake or Rock Slide, but he could go Serena or Vikavolt. I'm assuming one of them is going to be coming out here. I want to say it's going to be... Who would come out here? Maybe Vikavolt. I kind of just want to fire off a Rock Slide because it hits Serena as well as Vikavolt. We're going to see the swap here. Let's see who I'm getting. It's going to be Trippy, which I think is Serena. Yeah, it's Serena. Okay, so that's fine. I get a little bit of chip here. Okay. Probably Queenly Majesty. I wonder if I should play offensive or if he's going to U-turn out again. I feel like if he U-turns out, I'm in a really bad spot. Like, I feel like I'm in a really bad spot if he U-turns out. And I feel like U-turn is pretty safe overall. I live one Power Whip or Trop Kick if he goes for it. But I wonder if I should just sack Corviknight here. But it's my main switch in is a problem because I don't switch in afterward. You know what? I think I have to play aggressive this turn. I'm going to go for Rock Slide and try to catch the U-turn. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so it is U-turn. Perfect. Get the call right. He switches out. Excellent. All right. So I do play that right. I felt like if I went Core Knight, I was in such a bad position. So I felt like I could live one Power Whip, and then I should be able to get at least a hit off onto something. We're going to see the Vikavolt, which is cool because I did go for the Rock Slide for some chip. Excellent. That is probably going to be in Hydro Pump range afterward, too. A little less than I thought. Okay. A little less than I was hoping, but okay. Not the end of the world. We're probably going to see Energy Ball come out. I honestly just want to go Reboot. I want to go Reboot and click Flare Blitz on, I think, Energy Ball. I think Energy Ball makes the most sense. So I'm actually going to go hard Reboot and then click Flare Blitz for the maximum damage output. Yeah, perfect. All right, how much is it going to do? Not a bad amount. Actually, we took that a lot better than I thought. Is that like max physical defense? I hope it's not. Let me see what Reboot's calc is. Oh, I'm running out of time. Actually, no, I don't think I have the time to afford it. I'm just going to Flare Blitz. I don't see a reason not to Flare Blitz here because I get a bunch of damage off into the Vikavolt potentially. Or nothing. What? Excuse me? Where's my damage? Okay, that shouldn't KO me. Reflect is messing me up. Okay, I mean... yeah. That Reflect is messing me up big time. He's not like Clay, it looks like. Alright, game is still doable though. As long as I have Conk plus Rotom, I feel like I can win. I'm gonna go my Rotom here, and I think I'm gonna Volt out. Yeah, I think I'm gonna Volt out on Serena coming in. Yeah, I'm gonna Volt out. I don't know if he saves this or not. I think it's definitely savable, but he would have like gone. All right. Play a bit aggressive did not work, so I'm gonna Volt Switch out. I guess he's gonna go for... I don't know what he's gonna go for. I'm just gonna go Corv. If I have to lose Corv, so be it. But he's got me these couple of turns. I didn't think that actually might have lived. Or at least I would have done more. I felt like... oh, it is Roost. Yeah. I should have Hydroed. That's really bad. Oh, that's really bad. Oh, this Iron Defense set is actually like really fire. I didn't realize Iron Defense would be screwing me up like this. With the Reflect, it's like max defense, Iron Defense. Maybe I should have brought Special Reboot or Mixed. Wish I had Brave Bird too. I'm not doing damage. I'm trying to think of how do I win this, and I just don't see me beating the Vikavolt. This Vikavolt's a problem. He probably just clicks Roost again, personally. I think that's a very safe play. Oh, he just clicks Thunderbolt. Okay. I did have my Walking Berry, but it's no point of keeping around at this like low HP, so Corviknight gonna go down. I think I gotta go Rotom. Hope I take an Energy Ball and get 2 Hydro Pumps off, which is a really terrible game plan because Cinderace could have Sucker Punched and the Grimmsnarl I'm not liking. It's doable though, but it's like really, really rough. Okay. Is it better to Trickier? Maybe it's better to Trickier. No, I think I Hydro Pump. I don't know if he clicks Roost, because I think he could just Roost Stall until I miss a Hydro Pump. But let's see. I'm going to go for Hydro Pump, see how much it does. I don't need Rotom too healthy, I think. It actually does a bit more than expected. We're going to see the Energy Ball come out. We are able to survive. Yeah, I'm not playing well. And this Vikavolt is definitely something I didn't respect as much. I mean, I'm going to fight for Hydro Pump now. I think I should have Hydro Pumped instead of Volt Switching that one turn. But yeah, I mean, I am getting lucky and hitting the Hydro Pump. So Vikavolt, a pain to deal with, is gone. All right. But unfortunately, the Serena is going to come in for free. And I don't have the best switch-ins for Serena. Yeah, Serena's going to come out. How am I going to handle the Serena response is the question. Am I going to go hard Conkeldurr? I mean, it's offensive Serena. How much does Conkeldurr take? because this is going to be important. Can Conkeldurr take defense? I think it'd be defensive Serena. I think I take 2. All right, I'm going to go hard Conkeldurr because I can Drain Punch with Conkeldurr. I want Rhyperior as a backup plan because once I get a Serena, actually, he doesn't have the best answers to Rhyperior. I think I'm going to go Conk here on Dropkick. Okay. All right, that's not too bad because I do have Life Orb, Iron Fist, even at -2. If he goes for another Dropkick, I should still be doing a decent amount to the Serena, unless he's physically defensive Serena, which I really hope he's not the case. But yeah, let's go for the Drain Punch. I don't think Serena, well, it gets play rough. We're gonna see U-turn come out though, which is actually pretty nice because nothing on his team switches to Drain Punch. Well, Life Orb, Iron Fist, Drain Punch at -1 will still do a ton of damage to his team, so I'm kind of content with this. So I can win the game. It's going to be really tough though. We're going to see the Grimmsnarl come out once again. Okay. Drain Punch. Oh, that's a really good hit. Okay, nice. All right, not a bad hit. He's probably going to get Reflect up. He's leftovers on this thing too. Okay. Spirit Break. I don't think Spirit Break KOs me, but you know what? I'm going to go for Drain Punch because I feel like Reflect is very safe here. Yeah. Reflect is going to come out, which is fine. Wonder if I should Mach Punch or if I should just switch in Rhyperior to following turn. If I switch in Rhyperior to following turn, it's interesting. Because he only has, after this, what, 4 turns of Reflect left? Don't want to run out of time. Because we're, yeah, pretty low on time. I'm actually going to go Rhyperior here, I think. Because Rhyperior is a technically safe play. Because I think Spirit Break is going to come out, if anything. And I can stall out turns of screens. Which I think is the big part. So I'm going to go Rhyperior here. Because I think it's expendable. Because, like, Conkeldurr Mach Punch is actually really good once Reflect is gone. And yeah, that doesn't do as much. So I think right now we just go for a Ice Punch because it doesn't knock out the Grimmsnarl. And again, we can stall out some turns of screens as well as we can hit Serena. So I think Ice Punch is just very safe here. Because stalling out the screen turns is really good. I wonder what the rest of his moveset is. Lariat, okay. How much does it do? It shouldn't do as much. Oh, wait. That did a lot more than I was hoping. But okay. Ice Punch. Ooh, we get a freeze, which is actually... I mean, that means I take less damage with Rhyperior, but I don't know if that's like absolutely game changing. Well, it is kind of game changing because it means I can switch in the Porygon once. Okay. I think I'm going to Earthquake in case it gets greedy because I think he definitely sacks either Grimmsnarl or like switches out. Okay, he unfalls, so like it doesn't mean much. Okay. Darkest Lariat going to come out. Rhyperior able to tank it. We will be able to get an Earthquake off, knock out the Grimmsnarl, and we did stall out some turns of screen successfully, so I'm completely okay with how this turned out. If we go Serena, this gets really interesting. This is actually really close because I think that Conkeldurr could actually do it because Conkeldurr with Drain Punch just does so much. We're gonna see Big Eraser the Porygon come out. Okay. How many turns of screens do I have left? Reflect is 1 more turn. Okay, this is actually pretty big. I can go for the superpower here, I think. Or did I just go for Earthquake? Yeah, I might as well just go for superpower. He might go for... I don't think he has sub. Yeah, try attack. That's fine. So I do have Life Orb for a reason on my Conkeldurr. And the reason I do have Life Orb is because Life Orb Iron Fist actually knocks out the Porygon if it's not like a really bulky set, but even if it's a bulky set, it's like I still think I'm fine. So I'm gonna go Conkeldurr here, and I feel like he switches out into Serena because I feel like Mach Punch is very obvious here. I think it's super obvious. I think it comes down to this read. If I get a Mach Punch off and KO the Porygon, I'm in a really good spot. But if he goes Serena, actually, you know what? I'm going to Mach Punch. Okay, thank God I didn't try to call it a Serena. So I am able to eliminate the Porygon, which is awesome. So Porygon does go down to the Life Orb Iron Fist. Amazing for me. That is amazing for me. So goodbye. Goodbye. He could have Zen Headbutt on the... Oh, he goes Serena again. Okay. I'll definitely take Serena. Because I will go for the Drain Punch here. The Drain Punch is very safe in my opinion. Is Drop Kick going to come out, so he's going to lower my attack again. So be it. But Drain Punch is going to do a good amount of damage. Can Conkeldurr actually come back in this game? Drain Punch going to come out. Life Orb, Iron Fist, Conkeldurr breaking through to Serena really well. And in fact, Rotom can win by clicking Hydro Pump, I think. Unless it's Sucker Punch Cinderace, which I guess could be concerning. That could be concerning for the end game. Oh, this is really close. I'm going to go for the Drain Punch once again. Because I don't think I have another play anyway. Aromatherapy. Wait. What? Did he misclick? Did he misclick? Because the Cinderace was not status. I'm very concerned about the Cinderace. Does it have Sucker Punch is the question. I think that's what the game comes down to. All I know is it can't have Libero, so it has to go for a fire move right here. I wonder if Flare Blitz knocks out Conk at this range. I kind of doubt it. I'm going to go for the Drain Punch anyway. I think Drain Punch is very safe. I wonder if Drain Punch -1 into Cinderace into Mach Punch Chaos. Yeah, I think he misclicked because I don't think Aromatherapy was ever to play. I think it was always Drop Kick. Pyro Ball. Oh, Conkeldurr lives too, which is pretty big. Drain Punch. Okay, I need to do a calc real quick. Let me see. Conkeldurr, because this calc could win the game. Cinderace. Sucker. $252. Attack. Adamant. Oh yeah, Sucker does nothing. Okay. I'm actually going to go hard Rotom. Because I think Mach Punch secures the game. Alright, let's retreat Conk into Rotom. Pyro Ball going to come out. Okay. Alright. Conk, you have to come through. I'm pretty sure Life Orb, Iron Fist, Mach Punch KOs. If we actually win this, like, what? Yeah, I'm pretty sure Mach Punch KOs. And I definitely want to guarantee it with Mach Punch. So we'll go for the Mach Punch here. Can we pick up the Cinderace? Come on, Conkeldurr. Come on, Conkeldurr. Oh my lord. That was a big misclick if I've ever seen one. I think, because why else would you click Aromatherapy there? Oh, what? I mean, the game plan was completely different. I think it really came down to, did his Cinderace have Sucker Punch? Because if it had Sucker Punch, the game changed immensely, because I think I still knock out Serena with the Drain Punch. I go for like an attack with Conk, and then it just really, I think, comes down to, does he have Sucker Punch on Cinderace? Because Scarf Rotom, I think, Hydro Pumped, and if I hit Hydro Pump, because if I don't hit Hydro Pump, I'm in a bad spot. But yeah, not clicking Drop Kick was definitely the worst one. But hey, we are positive now. 2-1. You know what? Oh man. Oh man. We're able to take week 3. Your boy is positive in the WBE. Whoever thought. But if you do want to check out HoodlumCallum, I will link his stuff down below. Really tough battle. He definitely had some really hard sets that were like, oh man, that was a scary set. Like that Vikavolt, I gotta prep more. I gotta do a bit of prep. I was a little bit pressed on time for prepping this week because I was super busy. Again, no anime nickname themes this week again because I kind of didn't have as much time to prep this week. But yeah, because I've had a lot of school stuff and a lot of things I've had on my plate lately. So yeah, but yeah, I hope you all enjoyed that battle. If you did like it, please leave a like down below to support. You can check out the rest of my VGC content. You can check me out live on Twitch as well as my second YouTube channel, all that stuff. You can check out Callum once again in the description down below. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this battle, and I will try. Playoffs is maybe not a dream at this point. Maybe it can be a reality. Hope you all enjoyed it. I will be playing better though next week. There were definitely a lot of mistakes that I could go back and look into this game, especially like with the core of turn. There were some good plays that I made and then some bad ones. I definitely look back at this battle, look at the bad ones, and keep improving as we continue this journey. As you all know, I haven't really played Gen 8 VG Gen 8 singles at all. I'm a VGC player, so yeah, I'm really excited. But yeah, have a great day, people, and until we battle again, I'll catch y'all later.